The war in West Asia is refusing to die down. Following the Hamas and Israel battle, the region is now on the brink of an all-out war. The civilian casualties have always kept coming in, but sports has been a casualty too. Sporting structures are crumbling, leagues getting affected. And Israel has been targeted in this regard. Anti-Israeli sentiments are echoing across the globe. The effects of it now being seen in Australia. The country has cancelled an international ice hockey qualifying tournament for a men's world championship. The tournament, which was set to be organised in Melbourne, was called off, and that's just 3 months, with 3 months just left for it to take place. And the reason has been security concerns. And while Australia's Ice Hockey Federation, or the IHA, didn't mention Israel in their statement, local media reported that the cancellation came due to Israel's participation. The claims come over a leaked email sent by IHA to the International Ice Hockey Federation, where the IHA has refused to host the event because they are wary the situation could lead to chaos with Israel coming in. So why the security concern? It stems from a series of anti-Semitic attacks that Australia has witnessed in the recent months. The country has seen anti-Israeli slogans being chanted everywhere. The Israeli communities are getting targeted repeatedly, properties being vandalized, and this is not the first time a section of residents in Australia have been subjected to hostility. Between 2007 and 2008, more than 1,000 Indians had been victims of crimes, including assaults and robberies, and that only turned worse in the following years. Multiple deaths were reported in what was believed to be racist attacks. Now, the Israelis seem to be the targets, and it has only worsened in the last 1 month alone. Earlier this week, in Sydney, a car was ruined by graffiti. It was a colourful message on a Jewish citizen's car. Vandals sprayed anti-Israel and anti-Semitic graffiti on an electric bike to target the local Jewish community. The Jewish community seem to have expressed their displeasure over these hate crimes because the matter has gone up to the Prime Minister Albanese, who of course has condoned these acts, saying it's against Australian values.
Anti-Semitism is a scourge, and any event such as this targeting people because of who they are is not the Australian values that I hold dear and the Australian values that are held dear.
And while it was nice of Albanese to address the elephant in the room, what the IHA did was the complete opposite. Now, I understand the situation in Australia is developing and it is a cause for concern. And that, of course, led to many doubts over whether Australia would be able to host the tournament without any mishaps. But if the reports are true, then cancelling the event just because of Israel's participation clearly puts Australia in bad light. On one end, you have the Prime Minister calling the anti-Semitic attacks against Australia's values. And on the other, the Ice Hockey Federation is trying to corner Israel by calling off the tournament completely, which puts Israeli players under the spotlight once again. Just last month, the World Bowl Tour, or the WBT, initially banned Israeli players from competing in the World Indoor Bowls Championship in England. The WBT defended their case by stating it was taken to avoid any chaos. The ban was later revoked after the call was widely condemned by Jewish groups and a local MP. Now, I understand the organizers are scared given the growing anger that's simmering against Israel across the globe. Last year, football fans of an Israeli club, Maccabi Tel Aviv, were attacked in Amsterdam. This after their Europa League match against Dutch club Ajax, which resulted in a riot between Israeli fans and the attackers. The situation, of course, escalated, so much so that the Israeli government urged their fans to stay indoors. They even made measures to bring the fans back home safely. So yes, tension is always riding high whenever Israeli teams or athletes are involved. Australia is trying its best not to create situations that could lead to such things happening and matters going out of hand, like it did in Amsterdam. And what it's done is alienate Israel from the sporting world one tournament at a time. The reason Australia decided to can the event has a lot to do with their lack of faith in their country and its system to be able to handle an Israeli team traveling and playing in Melbourne. The anti-Israel sentiments are riding high and they feel any involvement by Israeli teams will only go south. Is that how Prime Minister Albanese, though, would like the world to imply from Australia's decision?
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines. Detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.